Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is a Moist Transformers lover, and for the first ever video on this channel, I figured I'd talk about my most favorite Transformer of all time, that being Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Combaticon Brawl.
You want me to shell him?
Bro, the details on this thing are immaculate. Like, let's just take a closer look. You can see he got all of these little vents. This gunmetal grey, the color scheme goes hard. You have his bolts and pins, the treads in his feet. We have the tank cannon. Like, everything just looks amazing, and especially the paint. Dude, his orange eyes, the red mouth. They were cooking when they made this guy back in G1. Now onto his accessories. Brawl comes with 3 accessories, 2 twin cannons and 1 primary blaster for him to wield. His primary blaster looks like a machine gun which goes on tanks, and I think that's pretty neat for a tank transformer. And it is also blast effect compatible, so you can put your blast effects and I don't know, start going like Sycamore or something. And for Brawl's cannons, they can hinge up and down, so that's pretty neat, and that's for his articulation later. And unfortunately, it is not blast effect compatible, so that's kind of a bummer. Now, I like how Brawl can just hold his tiny little gun in his hand, considering how he's pretty much built like an absolute unit. And that's fine, you know, you can get him into some nice shooting poses. And I like how his machine gun is based off more of like an earth weapon compared to like a Cybertronian design. So I think that really adds to his like tank World War vibe. Now, my favorite configuration is putting his machine gun on his wrist in that 5mm port. Because by putting it in there, we can get him into like a more threatening pose. And it looks like the machine gun is coming out of his wrist itself. And by placing it in his wrist, you can give him like a war machine / Iron Giant kind of vibe, where he has like a wrist mounted cannon and he's just about like slime everyone at a function. Now for Brawl's artillery cannons, he can be placed on the back. So there are quite a few ways to place it. We can place it at the side like this, though this is like quite a weird configuration because he looks kind of silly. He looks like those like pitchforks, you know. So yeah, this is kind of stupid. So we can put it also like this, where we stick the turret, the cannon I mean, into the back of the turret, so it faces up. This is fine, but the problem is that this kind of a loose sort of like connection, you know. See, like this will fall out eventually. It's not good. And the main configuration that most people go for is they rotate the cannon around, and then they put the twin cannons on top, pretty much making him look like Blastoise. And he's pretty Sigma. Like, dude, this is sick. Now we're gonna move on to Brawl's articulation, and oh my goodness, this thing's articulation is insane. So first of all, he has a ball joint in his head, so that pretty much allows him to tilt his head side to side. It allows him to look up, it allows him to look down, and it allows his head to rotate 360. For his arms can, his shoulders I mean, can basically also rotate 360 without any issues. His arms can go out that far. Yeah, pretty good spread. And he can also, due to the transformation, he pretty much can do a butterfly joint movement like that. So he can like kind of, you get him like squeezing his pecs, squeezing his brawls, and then he can also have a little bicep swivel, completely unhindered bicep swivel. So that's pretty goated. 90-degree elbow bend, and they also filled out the gap in the elbow, which is pretty nice. So when he pulls out his elbow, it looks like it's one smooth motion, you know, like all the mechanical detail. And I'm just so glad that they added this part in for Brawl so that his elbow didn't look so hollow. Onto his waist, he pretty much has an unhindered 360-degree swivel if you move the cannon out of the way. If the cannon is in its position, it's still fine, it can move, but it's just that the cannon will be pushed a bit, but that's not a big deal. Now onto his legs, he can pretty much do the full splits without any issue, and he can kick forward about that far, and he can kick back about that far. But if we were to remove the cannon, he can pretty much kick back even further. Now he also has a thigh swivel, which is pretty neat. And for his knee bend is pretty good. It's very solid because his knee bend kind of locks at 2 positions. So it locks here when it's straight, and then yeah, you can see it like has to unlock a bit, and then this part is free movement, and then once you go down, it will lock again here. Yeah, so when it's at the 90-degree. So this is mostly for the transformation, that's why it has a lock, I'm assuming. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. And lastly, his ankle. Let me show you this guy's ankles. His ankles is like he can do that. So you can pretty much get him to do super duper silly poses like this. Here's him doing the William Dafoe pose. Yeah, so Brawl's articulation is absolutely insane. You can pretty much get him into any pose you want, and that's just so good for a Voyager. And it helps that his proportions are good and the accessories he comes with are great. You can really just aura farm with him. Now for a quick size comparison, here we have Brawl next to a Lego minifig. Here we have Brawl next to Earthrise Optimus Prime. And lastly, we have Brawl next to Freddy Fazbear. Now, on to transformation. This is one of the most satisfying and like easy to transform figures that I have, and I just love it. Y'all gotta see this firsthand. So Brawl has one of the most convenient and fun transformations in my opinion, and it can be done pretty fast. So what I like to do first is I like to lift his legs up. This is not following the manual by the way, but I just like to prep his legs for transformation, just like so. And then once I'm done, I pull out his chest, pull out his whole chest assembly so he hides his head, flip his arms forward, pull out the threads, flip his panels out, close in his legs, make sure that the cannon is pulled forward so it doesn't hinder his rotation, and then we just tap everything into place at the bottom, because you can see at the side there are these little tabs which will go into these little holes at the side of the threads, just like so. And then once we're done, we're gonna want to take his arms and we are gonna want to butterfly it forward until everything clicks into place. Yeah, just like that. Look, like that's so fast. That's so fast. And from a robot, I got a very solid tank. Here's a tank from the side, here's a tank from the back, and here's the tank from the other side, and finally the front of the tank. This thing, I love it so much. I love this tank so much. And now you realize when he's in his tank mode, this used to be the bottom of his foot, right? So now there's these two little gaps. You can bring in his twin cannons and you can plug it at the back here, and it's pretty tight for this part of the connection. So now he pretty much has like two additional like mortar cannons, while his tank turret is more flexible and he can blast more people. So this thing, he's decked out, bro. He is strapped. Solid tank mode, and he looks great, and it's just so nice that he doesn't need to parts form unlike some of the recent tank transformers. Flipping him from tank to robot and robot to tank is just so satisfying. He's such a good fidget figure. Y'all need this. Y'all need Brawl like right now, bro. Of course, now we brought his friends out. Okay, so now we're gonna turn Brawl into his grippers mode. To start, we're gonna wanna take Brawl, and we're gonna wanna just, for me personally, I like to move the cannon up immediately. So once you move the cannon up, you shouldn't be able to like swivel 360. You pull his chest out and you close his head in, just like so. After that, we flip his arms forward, and I like to leave it at that for now. Moving on to the legs, we're gonna wanna open his legs, and you're gonna see that underneath his legs there's this little panel thing. We're gonna wanna pluck it out, yes, like that. And then we're just gonna do the same for the other side. Now, as someone with no fingernails, this is kind of a pain in the ass. I should probably grow out my fingernails. Yes, there we go. Okay, just like that. And then what we're gonna wanna do is we are going to wanna clip his legs together, just like so. Same for his feet. And once everything is clipped together, we're gonna take his knee and we're just gonna move it 90 degrees like this. Yeah, so you can see why there's the locking mechanism for his articulation. Now, for this part, we're gonna wanna fold it out further once more. And there are tabs that should line up. As you can see, there are these tabs all over here which will line up into these gaps. So if done correctly, it should line up without a problem, like so. And then now we're gonna wanna just fold the feet up like this, fold the feet down, and this tab is gonna go into that hole over there, so just like this, and then we want to push in the sides. So that's almost the feet pretty much done. Now we're gonna come up here and we're gonna want to butterfly the arms inwards like this, and this tab is gonna go into that gap in the threads just like this. Okay, no problem. We rotate the arms around, bend it down 90 degrees, and then we flip out the panels, and there we go. Now we have a foot. Alright, so now we have Bruticus's legs. Now if you notice, this part of Bruticus can rotate, and that's due to the fact that Brawl has a joint inside his chest that lets him pivot like this. Now there's a very big problem with this pivoting part that most people have, where their part of the pivot, like this pivoting part of their figure, is too tight, and so when they try to pivot it, it gets stressed and it starts to show like stress marks. But mine is so far okay, and mine isn't that tight. Mine is like loose enough to bend and loose enough to hold its position. So yeah, I think mine is fine. But there are fixes online where they show you how to fix your Brawl figure if you encounter that issue. So yeah, you can go and search up those videos. Now, how do we put him onto Bruticus? So as you can see at the bottom, there's these two vents, right? These two vents will go onto these two giant, I don't know what to call it, these two giant pegs. And at the top of Bruticus's legs, you have these two little things jutting out. It will fit into these two parts of the tank turret. So when you put it in, me personally, I like to put it in sideways first, and I like to settle the top, so I like to push in the tank turret part first, because that tends to be the hardest. And while I'm pushing in the tank turret, I push in the bottom part. Yeah, so now it's all in, and once it's in, we lock the tank pins just like that. We make sure the bottom is locked, and we make sure we just give a good push, make sure everything's in. And for the back, you're gonna notice over here there's this little tab sticking out. It's gonna go into that gap just like so, and boom, now he's in his leg mode. And you can also take his turrets and you can store it on the back of Bruticus's leg. Just like that, we have a giant boot. This is Brawl in the leg mode, and it's amazing. He fits so well. The Combaticons they're so sexy. And that ends my review for Combaticon Brawl. My personal favorite figure of all time. I just love this guy. He's so fun to mess with, and he looks amazing. And like him being part of Bruticus is just the extra bonus. So guys, if you like this figure, let me know in the comments. If you have anyone you want me to review next, also let me know in the comments. I'll probably like check if I have that figure or not. I don't know. This is the first episode, so I'm just doing a test for how the reviews will probably look like in the future. And you can follow my Instagram, where I take more photography of the figures that I review. So yeah, that ends the review. Everyone like, subscribe, share or something, I don't know. And maybe when we hit like 100 subs, I'll like show like my feet or something.